How's it going, everyone, and welcome to the channel. In today's video, I wanted to talk about yesterday's patch notes, or maybe 2 days by now, depending on how quickly I get this edited. We had a lot of awesome stuff in there, like flamethrowers receiving the same handling buff as the sterilizer. However, I want to be more specifically focused on the rework to the double-edged sickle and the nerf the Ultimatum got. I know a lot of people were disappointed with the double-edged sickle being, quote, nerfed. I mean, I'd lie if I told you I wasn't a little disappointed, but not like disappointed in Arrowhead or like mad at them for it. It's kind of like when you get an obviously broken weapon in a looter and you just know that this is going to be nerfed in the near future, and it's very understandable why it's going to get nerfed, so you just use it as much as you can before it gets, basically touched. That kind of disappointment. But I will continue to refer to the changes that happened to the last 17 as a rework, because that's kind of how I feel. I don't really view it as a nerf. The explanation given by the devs makes total sense. This weapon is one of those archetypes you have in games where, at its base, it is a average, extremely mid gun that does nothing spectacular at its base. But with more use begins a trade-off, where you get exceptionally more damage with the price being your HP. When the last 17 dropped, you get medium armor pen or AP3 at no cost, making it instantly better than the normal sickle, which isn't the point of this weapon. Now, with the current rework, it's more in line with the vision they had for this gun. And now when you get into the max stacks, when you're literally on fire, you get AP4. If you're wondering what that means, it means you now have an automatic weapon that does the same penetration as a Senator, which is it's amazing. So while we did see this weapon get slightly nerfed in a way, it as well got a slight buff in others. So that's why I'll always refer to this change more as a rework more than a nerf. The one thing that was actually disappointing and actually has me worried for the future is the Ultimatum nerf. This was a straight up nerf by Arrowhead and feels like a knee-jerk reaction from them based off community hype and possible Redditors complaining that their PvE game is a little too easy now. If you don't know what they did, well, they made it to where the Ultimatum is no longer interacting with the Siege Ready armor passive or the Hellpot optimization booster, which would give you an extra 2 shots and start you off with max ammo in all your weapons, including the Ultimatum. I don't really like this at all. First of all, I just don't agree with the community that the Ultimatum is a broken secondary. Yes, it is an S tier secondary and up there with some of the greats. However, it's S tier for what it was designed in, and that's handling side objectives, jammers, detector towers, fabs, squid ships. All now are much more easier to be dealt with, and you'd be crazy to say otherwise. However, this weapon does not excel in ad clearing. While yes, it can help you with killing like whole clumps of devastators and a huge amount of ads if you are able to work with it, you have much more effective means at dealing with them. And I feel possibly this nerf comes from the fact that most players, maybe even devs, don't realize the ad clearing method from this war bond doesn't really come from the Ultimatum, but actually the portable hell bomb itself, with the Ultimatum being actually the objective based weapon here. Since we never had the ability to really use hell bombs before effectively against enemies, we are kind of coded to think hell bombs mean objective killers. On top of that, this weapon can't even destroy all objectives. Gunship fabricators, monoliths, and plenty of other objectives the Ultimatum is either not effective or just not a good option in dealing with. On top of this, if this weapon really needed a nerf, which in the end I don't care because the nerf is easily sidestepped by having a supply pack on you, so you can still have ammo for it, or if you just do POIs or explore colonies on squids, you will always have ammo for it. It's just lower the amount of shots you have to 1 shell. Or my preferred method, which is while Arrowhead obviously goes on to add more content, just please add secondary objectives that can only be done with hell bombs, which doesn't make Ultimatum useless, but now you don't feel so reliant to bring it as well. You will have things in the game that require heavier ordnance. My final reason for not liking this nerf, and it really is the core of the issue for me personally, is I don't like how we went about doing the nerf. I feel this sets a bad precedent in gameplay balancing, where now if we have a weapon that's too good and too useful, that we will make it to where it doesn't interact with armor passives or boosters or basically mechanics of the game. This seems like something where, since the devs are scared of the community backlash of them nerfing a gun that they feel is too powerful, that we are now going to be doing basically the scary thing, which is overall hurting build crafting and hurting player expression. If I or anyone builds into a weapon with armor passives, boosters, and stratagems, there should be no reason why a weapon isn't powerful. I know that simply changing the armor you are wearing is quite a easy and very simplistic way of building into a weapon, but that's Helldivers. We aren't PoE2 or some looter shooter or MMO, so when you remove passives from armors interacting with our gear, you are removing a lot of build real estate for players to get more out of a weapon or playstyle that they like to express themselves with. So if I was to sum up how I feel about the Ultimatum nerf, it's not so much the nerf itself, it's the way we went about nerfing the gun. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Tell me down below what you all think about the patch, if you agree with what I said in the video, or if you think I'm just another crybaby who wants everything to be broken and Helldivers to be easy. Love to see what y'all think about it down below. If you're looking for a community to play Helldivers with, I would go check out the Discord down in the description below. And with that, I'll catch y'all next time.